So if you're someone that's never made a significant amount of money outside of a regular job, then for a lot of people, it's hard to imagine like ever being wealthy, right? Like outside of being a doctor, lawyer, any of those high paying jobs, it's hard for a lot of people to imagine ever getting rich or building real wealth. So what a lot of people tend to do is that in order to get that wealthy feel, people tend to get in debt. Right, because that's like the only way that they think that they can acquire or get to that point where they can feel wealthy and look wealthy to other people. They have to, their job only pays so much amount of money. So they're like, all right, how do I get the things that I want that's going to make me look wealthy? So what they do is they acquire debt. And you can see that in today's society, like especially for a lot of people, that's a big reason why a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, there's a variety of different reasons. Like for one, high car notes, right? Like I remember when I purchased at least a 2013 Nissan Maxima, my note for that was $400 a month. Right now, you got people talking about $700, $800, $900. Yo, even excess of over $1,000 a month. Like to me, that's crazy. Like to think that you could have a car note with that amount of money is like how are people affording that? Right? Because obviously they want to buy that nice car, they want to look wealthy, so they'll pay as long as they can afford it, in a sense, they're going to get that, even though it's not something that makes sense financially. But this is what a lot of people do. Another thing is obviously excessive credit card debt, right? Well, credit card debt is over $1 trillion here in America, and that's because a lot of people, like I said, only have so much money when it comes to their job, and they're like, all right, in order to get the things that I want, I have to put it on credit, I have to acquire debt to get it, right? And pay a huge amount of interest to do it. And everybody gets in trouble with that when it comes to managing that money. Like a lot of people, it's easy to use credit cards, it's easy to use other people's money, right? Our government does it every day. But for a lot of people, in order to get the things they want that's going to make them feel good or make them feel wealthy, they acquire credit card debt. That's the easiest form of debt to acquire. Another thing is obviously buy now, pay later. Like if for a lot of people, if they're strapped when it comes to the credit card, they'll go to the next step, which is the buy now, pay later, right? And many of these stores are allowing people to do buy now, pay later, where they don't even have high interest rates. But if you miss the payments, this is where they get you. But it's another easy way for a lot of people to get the things that they want. And of course, what's making things even tougher is inflation, right? Because if you're someone that's acquiring debt to get the things that you want, inflation is going to only speed up the process of the amount of debt that you acquire over time, right? Because things are more expensive. So if you're using your credit card, you're getting loans, things are just going to get more expensive. You're going to use more debt in order to get those things. So it's just going to increase your debt exponentially. And this is where a lot of people get caught up. And because obviously, like, people want to keep up with the Joneses, right? Everybody wants to look wealthy, everybody wants to be wealthy, but they live in this broke lifestyle. And what's the easy way, like purchasing a home for instance, right? Purchasing a home is a quick way to rack up a bunch of debt. Like I remember when I bought my condo, right? And it was a little 800 square foot condo, but I remember when I purchased that condo, all the things that I had to buy that comes with it, right? I had to buy the furniture, I had to buy the bedroom set, I had to buy the TV, I had to buy all these different things. And good thing I used cash at the time, but that kind of killed my savings account. And of course I was able to replenish it, but there's so much cost when it comes to purchasing a home. And that's just a condo. So just imagine when people are purchasing a home, all the things that you need to buy in order to, create that home that you want, that's going to make you feel good every time you come back home from work. And obviously you're going to want to invite guests, right? You want people to come over, so you want to make sure you create an environment for them to do that. Like you're going to buy a lawnmower, you're going to buy a snowblower, you're going to buy all these different things, the furniture, everything, entertainment system. If you got a nice little finished basement, you're going to buy an entertainment system. You're going to buy all these things and you're going to rack up debt in order to do that, because you want to make sure you're creating a living space that's going to make you feel like you're at home. Okay. And this is where a lot of people get caught up, and they create this lifestyle for themselves where even though, they have the job, they're working right there, they can afford a home, but they're living this broke lifestyle, right? And people don't see that, right? But for, like I said, 2/3 of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and this is a big reason why. And for me, I know this from experience, because I had $30,000 of credit card debt twice in my life. So I know exactly what it's like to just acquire debt and be reckless with your spending. Okay. And lucky for me, I was able, obviously, through eventually from learning from experience, I was able to eventually get out of that, because I started a business and made some money. I was able to pay off that debt very quickly. And that was was an eye-opening moment, because I was like, all right, Ralph, you need to get your finances in order, because right now you're constantly you're maxing out your credit cards. You're living paycheck to paycheck. You're struggling, and you don't see any light at the end of the tunnel. So obviously, reading books, learning and studying and finally understanding, the light bulb goes off where, all right, Ralph, you have to manage your money better. You get to a point where you say, all right, you know what? Strip that, remove all these expenses, focus on increasing your income, and then eventually manage your expenses where you get to a point where you're living within your means, and then at the same time you're trying to increase your means at the same time. And eventually I was able to do that. So if you're someone that's obviously struggling, living paycheck to paycheck, and you know people that are also living this lifestyle where they're focused on looking rich, but they're still living this broke mindset. You want to, obviously, the first thing you want to do is make sure is stop worrying about what other people think. And I think that's where a lot of people get caught up, right? They're worried about what other people think, so they want to say, I bought this new home, now I got to buy everything that comes along with it. I got to get the nice car, I got to get the entertainment system, I got to make sure the backyard is looking nice for when I have guests. So you want to do everything for other people, and that's where you get in trouble financially. So stop worrying what other people are thinking. Another thing is, the second thing is, like, change your mindset when it comes to how you make money, right? Because like I said, a reason why a lot of people acquire debt, obviously because they don't know how to manage their money, but two, because maybe they have a job where they don't feel like they can ever build the amount of wealth that they want. So it's like, it's never going to be possible for me to get rich outside of winning the lottery or getting an inheritance, right? There's no other way. Like, my job doesn't pay enough. And it's because of that mindset, they just say, you know what, that's my reality, and there's no other way else to make money. Okay? But if you change your mindset, how you make money, there's other ways to make money. It may not be it may not be an easy way that feels comfortable to you, but there are other ways to make money. And for me, obviously, I knew in order to get out of this debt, I was gonna have to start a business and increase my income, because the type of jobs I would get back then weren't going to be enough for me to live the lifestyle or create the life that I want for myself in the future. So you gotta believe that you can make you can create income for yourself that's outside of a regular job, right? But for a lot of people, they just don't have that mindset. They just say, you know what, this is what it is. They're comfortable, and then they become complacent. For me, it was just like, no, I gotta find a different way. And in order for you to change your lifestyle when it comes to your finance, you gotta figure out how to do that. And for me, it was obviously starting an online business. The next thing is, make better choices, right? You are where you are in life because of the choices you made in life, right? Like, unless you live like in some underdeveloped country, or you have some debilitating like disease or something like that, there's no excuses, right? Like, you should be able to figure it out. It's not going to be easy. Never said it's going to be easy, but you should be able to figure it out, especially if you live here in the United States, right? There's an abundance of opportunities to make money, and you have to figure out how to do that. Whatever way, you should, as difficult as life can be, there are different ways that you can do it, as long as you got to put in the effort and take the time to learn how to do that. Okay. And this is the next one, right? Read books. Like, reading books is an easy way to educate yourself. It's not something where you have to spend tens of thousands of dollars like college, where you get to learn so much that you need in order to help you build wealth, right? Books can cost in the range of $10 to $25. It's a very cheap way, and there's so much information and knowledge in there that you can acquire to help you learn the things that you want to learn in order to help you, increase your income, right? So read books. Like, instead of watching TV, read a book. Right? Instead of when you go to the gym, listen to music, read it, listen to an audiobook. These are very easy ways to acquire knowledge. And for a lot of people, it's very difficult because you don't attain all these things right away. So yes, read a book. And the last thing is, stop waiting for someday to take back control over your finances. For a lot of people, they're like, all right, why haven't you focused on, getting into shape? Someday I'm gonna wait for the New Year's to do it. Why haven't you really started creating a budget and getting your finances order? I'm gonna do that next week. Do that today. Start today. Stop waiting for someday, because someday never happens for a lot of people, right? Someday becomes a week, becomes a month, becomes a year, becomes never, right? Stop waiting for someday and start getting on that right now. Right? If you're someone that's gonna procrastinate and not be serious about how you want to make your life, improve your life, then you're never gonna get it done. Right? And for a lot of people, they always live by this notion of just someday I'll do something, and then someday just turns into never. And then they wonder why they're still where they're at, like they were 10 years ago. So So it takes a lot. Like, for a lot of people, like, everyone is focused so much on looking wealthy, and like, instead of like really taking the time to actually improve their wealth, stop worrying about what other people, and take the time to improve your finance, take back control of your finances, and create the type of wealth that you know is going to be is good for you in the long run. So it takes time. It's hard work. It takes a lot of focus. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of hard work, but it's definitely worth it. And it's a project it gives you a sense of purpose that you're working on something to improve your life. Like, it's not easy. Like, it's easy to just sit on the couch, watch TV, and watch a football game. It's hard to like say, you know what, I'm going to take back control of my finances and make sure I want to put myself in a position to succeed long term. So those are my thoughts. Interested to hear your thoughts. Make sure you leave a comment down below, hit the like button, share, and if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe. All right, so guys, take care. Have a good one. Later.